Welcome to episode number 256 of the Keep Up Podcast.
Where life begins where it ends, with Knuckles.
Sure does, Tim.
Sure does.
Sure does.
I think there is nothing better than life than nothing better than life.
Nothing better than life.
That's the end of it.
I think there's nothing better than life.
There's nothing better.
We're feeling mega posy today.
Yo, we're much pause.
Yes.
On a scale of 1 to pause, I would say I'm about cussed.
Cussed?
Yeah, I'm cussed.
What is that?
Dude, don't worry about it.
Don't say that on my show, sir.
It is our show. I get 50%. That's why I can only say cussed. You have to find the other word that connects to it.
Amur?
No. Customer?
Ard?
Yes, custard.
You said the T, right? Because
Yeah.
I can't take that half if you didn't say the T.
I got you covered, Brett. I got the T covered for you.
You can't just go around saying the back half of custard on the internet anymore.
Not anymore. Not since the accident.
Not. Yeah, that's what did it.
I helped you out, Brett.
What's happening here?
I don't know.
I'm trying to fix my mic. Whoa!
Oh,
no!
Dude, you got a short stack.
It's fine, guys. Don't worry about it.
Are we like Mario and Luigi today with our hats?
Yeah. Oh, I'm Mario.
Not today.
You have to be Luigi. You're younger and taller.
We can get the Mario and Luigi hats. I have one of each.
Too late.
I can go grab it right
I've
now.
already committed to this.
Okay.
Wait, you have a Mario and a Luigi hat?
Yeah, not up there. They're in the streamer zone.
The streamer zone.
The streamer
Welcome
zone.
to the streamer zone. Brought to you by Mountain Dew and Birdhouse Skateboards.
Birdhouse.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, Birdhouse is a thing.
Yeah.
The Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Welcome to Keep Up Podcast, where I'm Brett and Tim is Tim.
That's me.
We talk about all the things we consume, be it media or food. And man,
it
sure is today.
I think I'm going to dub this podcast. What number is it again?
286.
286 is going to be known as the Complain Cast.
More like 280 sucks.
Oh, you got it, man. 280 sucks because we're having a balls day.
I feel fine. Tim's pissed.
Dude, I'm mad at everything I'm going to talk about today.
Tim's the angriest I've seen him in a long time.
It must be Christmas.
It's weird.
Nothing says Christmas like Tim being angry.
It's weird when Tim gets mad because his face doesn't change. He's still smiling, but there's something in the air that tells you,
good.
beware the Tim.
Beware the Tim.
And it gets scary because he's talking to you and he looks happy, but the things he's saying are just like unsettling.
Yeah, it's a little off. Like
there's a mood about him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling today.
Yeah.
Crispy. El Crispo.
Nothing scarier than a crispy Tim.
No. Except for a sweaty Tim.
That is terrifying.
That is something you don't want to see running towards you at 2 a.m. I don't think I want to see any sweaty person running. Well.
No, yeah, I can't think of a person that I'm like, I wish they were just sweatier now.
I can think of a few.
What does that even mean? That's
Angelina Jolie.
She's sweaty in like all of her movies.
She's
constantly sweating and holding a gun.
That's all I wanted a woman, really. That's all I need. I don't have many qualms. Besides
prerequisites.
That.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Well, which thing that pisses you off do you want to talk about first,
Let's
Tim?
go to reflections.
Already?
I mean, you got anywhere else to go? Brett?
No. All right, Tim's driving the ship.
Oh, here we go.
He's trying.
Please, a moment to reflect.
This ship is definitely sinking.
Dude, is it me or is it just hot in here today?
I didn't even have time to like look at my notes to see if I had anything for the intro, but I don't.
Well, here, you got time. I got to find the stupid person. I hope they listen to this podcast.
I do too.
Is it good manners? Is it proper
whatever
for
you're about to
YouTubers
say,
to call out a comment they get on a video and talk less than positively about the comment Maybe I won't say their name.
It depends. It's not hard to find. We have 7 comments. So if you guys are new to the show, Reflections is where we talk about anything interaction with you guys, listeners, viewers, our audience, friends, and family.
Reflect on the community as a whole.
On occasion, we step back in time and say, last week I said Tim directed this movie, but it turns out it was Steven Spielberg.
Wow.
Sometimes you mess it up.
Kind of a big difference there.
Yeah, which is why it's a mistake worth fixing in next week's Reflections. But
it's interesting you say back in time because Sonic music.
So take me back in time to another world. Then you can be mine. We don't have to worry when you're by my side. There's nothing I don't know.
back in time. You know that song?
Close, but there is a Sonic song that I request this week that is.
No, I have to look
back
up a specific one.
Yeah, but it's from Sonic R, and it goes back in time.
I've probably used it.
Well, you're going to use it again.
You wouldn't know because you don't listen to the podcast. I've been hunting down Sonic songs for decades.
I'm pretty sure
point.
it's just Marble Zone every episode. You just play it the same
Wouldn't that be
way.
funny? I wish I'd been doing that.
I go through and I'm like,
You're
man,
like,
I
wait a
can't wait to
second.
see all these Sonic music Brett's put in.
like,
Marble Zone every week. No one said anything. No, it's never been anything. Just that.
Yeah, that's it.
But that's my request. I hope you remember. Sonic R. I actually don't even know if the song's called Back in Time. I think it is.
Great.
Or that's a lyric in the song.
Oh, good.
I'll look it up for you. I'll help you out this week, Brett.
Back in time. Who does that song?
Rosie O'Donnell. Cher. Am I hot or cold?
You're freezing, dude.
Good Charlotte.
Oh my gosh.
No?
You're not even in the right decade.
Damn.
You don't know the song?
AC/DC. Am I getting closer?
I'm not even sure who it is.
Weezer? Oh, what the hell?
I know you're way off.
What? How do you know?
Because I think it's, I have a guess, but I don't want to say it in case I'm embarrassed.
It is.
I was going to say Huey Lewis. Huey Lewis in the News.
Huey Louise Dreyfus.
I was right.
Who was it? Huey Lewis?
Yeah.
Who's that?
You don't know Huey? Hip to be square?
Oh, I know that one. It's hip to be square. Yeah.
That's how you say it. All right, what are we talking about?
We're in Reflections.
Yeah, we're in Reflections. Tim's got a gripe.
Here's the thing. Brett and I, unfortunately, or fortunately, double team this poor bastard, okay? This this guy did not know that there were 2 of us
Tim,
on
watch
the
your
other side. We're spicy today.
Only Tim is. I'm not that mad about it.
This podcast is going to be rated 16 plus.
I literally got to turn you down a little
I know. I'm spicy today.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to name them.
You can find it.
But
Tim's not even, this is how mad he is. He's not even promoting the video that this comment was on, which is a brand new video we did. It was Tim's idea. He's all excited about it.
Yep.
We get one trash comment and he's like,
it's like he's attacking my baby. I've been working hard on this video.
you've always been the calm one. What is this what it's been like working with me for the past 8 years?
Dude, I think it's starting to rub off on me.
Maybe we switch because I'm not that mad about it.
Usually, comments don't get under my skin like negative ones. We don't get a lot of them, but when we do, it's funny. Like, it's just like, this guy's sad.
Like the one that was just like, gay.
Yeah.
Like, all right, dude. Like,
Thanks. We don't get too much, but when they show up, we tend to laugh at them, point them out, whatever. In this case, yes, we had a new Sonic video come out where we ate every Sonic menu item at IHOP.
Yep.
Go check out the video.
Check it out.
And lots of good comments, friends being nice, people being cool.
Yep.
And this guy, out of nowhere, freaking, I think his name's Butt Sniffer 22. That's pretty close. He said, or she, they said.
Butt sniffer is such a like elementary school, only in the 80s, like insult.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people sniff butts now.
Butt
so
sniffer.
it's a different climate. Maybe that's probably not an insult to some
It
people.
might be less of an insult now than it once was. Like
Anyways,
fart knocker? What's that mean?
That is.
I've never liked those words together. I'm sorry I just presented that.
That one is pretty. I think that one's like gross.
Oh, is it?
Like the word cussed. You know?
Oh.
It's just one of those that's like, ew.
Yeah, it's just all the wrong
Cusp
sounds.
is fine when you say a P at the end.
You're right.
But cussed, it sounds like chunky.
Ew.
You want some hot
It
cuss?
sounds curdled.
It does.
I don't like that.
So this cuss knocker
Ew.
here.
New insult unlocked.
Oh.
You freaking cussed knocker. It sounds bad.
I feel like we're swearing on the podcast.
Sounds like we need an
we
explicit
should do
tag.
that for 300 invent new swears.
We already did. We're
It's
just
true.
the cuss knocker.
Oh yeah.
It sounds awful.
It sounds gross.
All right, go ahead.
So this comment,
Get
I
it
want
out,
to point
Tim.
out that it's not even like bad.
It's really not that
It's
bad.
nothing. They just said, and you know what it is, and I'll say it after I say the
I
comment.
can't wait because
So-
you've been seething about this.
Again, these don't usually get to me, but this one I read, and they
Yeah.
said, "So you're just copying Peebs?" ? LOL. Okay. The LOL. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Is like.
that's the bit.
Yeah, it's like seeing red as a bull. I'm like, LOL, okay. I'm gonna. It's and I don't know why it just rubbed me the wrong way.
I can tell you. I think
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is just a thing I've established in my brain because I'll get upset at comments, not even at us,
Mm-hmm.
but just in general on the internet. Like I'll see someone leave a comment, and I'm like, why is this making me so angry?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is, you guys can tell me if you agree. I dub this
Mm-hmm.
genre of comment a mic drop comment, where someone thinks they're doing something and they're not.
Mm-hmm.
But because you can't respond to them in real time, they just get away with thinking they did something.
Yeah.
So like this commenter is like, I caught you in copying this YouTuber that, by the way, I've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
And LOL, okay. Like,
Yeah, like
so I feel like that's why it's annoying. You can confirm or deny, but
yeah. No, I mean, I can't.
it's the arrogance.
Yeah, it's like they think that is what we did, and they're like, this is just a fact.
Yeah.
Without knowing like that we filmed this weeks before.
Yeah.
We've been editing it for weeks. Like, and so I mean, I even went to Peebs, which turns out to be a YouTuber. I know, Peanut Butter Gamer, but I guess he has a different.
Oh, you
YouTube.
know,
I knew him.
Tim. Oh,
I knew him when I looked at his channel.
So you're just gonna copy Peebs? Okay.
our hero Peebs.
LOL. Okay.
LOL. I saw the video and I was like, man, we needed to steal the idea, go out and film it, spend all this money,
Yeah.
eat all this food, and then make a video and be like, ha ha, it's our idea.
we got it.
We stole it.
That's so silly.
Yeah, so that just made me rage a little bit. And I responded, and I'm not going to go through my whole response, but it was pretty level-headed, I think. You know, I was cracking a joke. I specifically gave a date when we recorded it.
Yeah.
To kind of give like a
I think
little.
that's how I knew you were mad.
Yeah.
You were getting into specifics. I was like, ooh, Tim's
Right, because I could have easily just said like, "Oh, haha, no." Like I don't know what I could have said, but
haha, no.
no, we didn't.
Oh,
but I was
haha,
like,
no.
actually, we recorded this on April 16th. Like I was trying to do it in a way where I could give the evidence that we didn't do it. Because then when I went to look at the video, I saw, oh, well, Peebs released the video after we recorded it. So we did it first.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Like
for sure. It's not like he filmed it weeks before and then he posted it weeks later. No.
We did it first. He was there in the parking lot and was like, this is a good idea.
Yeah, like, what are these guys doing?
And then he stole it, and then he sent this guy. This is like the guy in Happy Gilmore that Shooter McGavin hires to distract Happy during the tournament. You need to watch Happy Gilmore. See, some of you got that.
Yeah,
He hires a guy
Yeah.
who just shows up and he goes, "Hey, you suck, you jackass,"
Just
over
the
and
whole
over
time?
and over again. Yeah, and it distracts Happy, and that's
Man.
what this guy's like because Tim's happy.
Yeah.
usually.
Yeah.
not by name, but I mean by
Just
characteristic.
generally, yeah.
And
Generally
he's
happy.
not been the same ever since.
No.
Butt
I'm
knocker
still,
62. What's his name?
Cuss knocker.
Oh, I hate it so much. Yeah. Also, like, what's his name? Peebs.
Peebs.
I literally don't know. I don't want it to sound like we're saying anything about
No,
Peebs because
Peebs is good.
I literally had never heard of him before. I went and checked out his Sonic videos, cool too, and the channel's rad. It's like very heavily edited and really funny. It's
Yeah.
really cool. But yeah, just to be clear, we're not like knocking another YouTuber or anything.
No.
But it's just funny that like this thing on the internet where people think they're like catching other people doing things.
Yeah, like, do you think he's thinking he's like defending Peebs and he's like, oh, you stole this idea?
Yeah, I
or
don't
like,
know.
Trying to get us to remove the video?
That's the thing that always gets me is I don't think people operate with a lot of productivity in mind anymore. Online. The other thing I should point out is this could be like an 8-year-old that's like,
It's just
oh,
like,
you stole this idea. Yeah, I don't know. And then they followed up and
yeah. So after I wrote my comment again, I just like, I again didn't say anything bad.
read the response. The response makes me so angry. That's what makes me mad.
Yeah, and then they came back after my response, which it must have been a couple hours later because mine was a day ago, and then the response was 22 hours ago. So it was a couple hours. He said, "How defensive you got just proves I'm right."
It's not how proof works.
Not
It's
at all.
so annoying.
Not at all. I can read the comment. It really doesn't matter, but just for context.
Oh, go ahead, Tim. Tim's gonna explode. The rest of this episode won't happen if he doesn't read the comment.
I just want to say, this is what I said.
This is what he said.
We aren't sure who Peebs is. At the time, I didn't know. But glad they had a sweet idea like this, too. We filmed this on April 16th. Did their video come out before then? Maybe they were in the restaurant with us and got the idea to try it on their own. Which, I mean, come on. Hilarious.
Pretty funny.
Best comment you could give that isn't so full of rage.
It's pretty good.
I think I wrote that at like 3 a.m. too. I was like delirious.
Here's the other thing. I've never seen Tim respond to a comment so fast. Most, like 90% of the responses on all of our platforms are me.
I've been trying to be better about it.
Because Tim posts and then forgets the keep up exists.
The video's
and
out.
he's like, I am collection revolution at all times.
It's an outfit. I'm like Batman, you know?
Yeah.
I take off the Tim skin and I put on the Collection Revolution skin.
Yeah, and then you put on the keep up patch that you rip off as soon as you're done
It's just
posting
a little
the video.
mask.
Yeah, it's one of those eye masks that everyone can see your identity.
No, so
And then you're like, it's me, Tim from the Keep Up. And it's like, wait, Collection Revolution? You're like, no, yeah, you got me.
You got me. It's fine.
Yeah, I've never, when I saw the response, I was like, because it said like one reply, I was like, no way Tim responded
No
to this.
way.
And I looked and I was like, he did. He's so pissed.
But I did respond to the other ones. I've been trying to be better because it is a lot of the time you, but I'm trying to be better.
It's fine. I just thought it was funny that one triggered
That was the one.
I will say,
Yeah.
as we continue to grow,
Yes.
we're going to get more hate comments.
Which is fine.
You got to be prepared.
I'm ready.
We can't dedicate half of every episode to a hate comment.
No, we can't. It's just the rare time that one actually gets to me because most of the time I just
I think, he does. It's true.
I don't care.
I do think it's, we're going to have to call these comments Christmas trees.
Yes.
Because the only thing that makes Tim angry is putting up a Christmas tree. And it used to be an annual event, but now it's going to be every time we get a negative comment.
We got another Christmas tree, guys.
Just remember, everything that says LOL okay is a Christmas tree.
Yeah,
to
if
Tim.
you want to trigger me, just make a comment that like a troll would say and leave like LOL okay or got ya or like some stupid 2-word phrase at the
gotcha,
end.
dude. The mic drop comments. I do think it's funny to talk about these because it's like, it's something I like analyze because I'm like, if I saw someone do another video, which happens all the time, it's the internet. People have the same ideas. Like 2 YouTubers who are both. Peeb seems to be a huge Sonic fan. I saw a bunch of his videos were like Sonic related.
Zelda, Sonic. He's pretty big in the like retro game community. And
Oh,
stuff,
okay.
Because he has another channel that's much bigger.
I see.
Peanut Butter
Okay.
Gamer, so.
But I'm like, between you two both having YouTube channels and being massive Sonic fans and a restaurant that's like a national chain having a Sonic based menu, it's not that crazy that you guys both made a YouTube video.
No,
about
and
it.
we're not the only two. I've seen hundreds of
There's
other
a bunch
people.
of, I was going to say there's a ton out there. So I would see, if I see multiple videos on the same topic, I'm not like, oh, you copied this other person.
I'm like, oh, I'm curious how they did it and like watch their version of doing.
And how would you
similar
know which
idea.
one they copied if they copied anyone? Because there's so many.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know. It's just funny. It's a very interesting thing.
And I do want to mention Brett came back and smacked him in the head with a whole paragraph.
I did.
3-paragraph paper on why they're stupid.
It
And
is like-
I'm proud of you, Brett.
Well, Tim thought I was being passive aggressive, but I was being sincere.
I said passive aggressive, but I meant killing them with kindness.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't say anything. I just,
He put a lot of good words and said it nicely, but you're absolutely killing them with it.
this is.
You're destroying their essence.
Here's my thing. I think like I said, people aren't operating with productivity in mind. I don't think people online are operating in their right minds. So I try to keep that in my brain.
Do you feel like when you're on the internet, you're not in your right mind?
I could. No.
I
No,
find
I feel like
myself
I am.
pretty mindful online. Like, I feel like if I leave a comment, I think about how the other people would respond to it.
100%. And that's how I am too, which is why you won't find a ton of comments from me on things.
Yeah.
Because if I don't feel like it's beneficial to anyone in any way, I just won't say anything. So yeah, I think I am. I think the people who are, and I don't know anything about this commenter, obviously, but it's just, we all are on the internet. If you're listening to this podcast or watching it, like, we're all here together. You've seen so many of these comments, and part of what drives me crazy about it is the cyclical nature of it, where every comment section has the same groups of people. It's got the people who are trolls, the people who are maybe just ignorant about the thing, but they're commenting with all the confidence. There's like all these mic drop comments. There's like, and then there, hopefully somewhere in there, if it's a post that met the wrong audience, there's someone being like, I don't know why everyone's hating on this. You know what I mean?
This is great.
But yeah, so that being said, I'm always like, that's not a real, like, that's probably not what that person is really like. Like, if this person came to, like, I don't know, some live event, like, I'm playing a show and they come and I reminded them of, like, an artist they listen to. I can't imagine they would walk up to me and be like, oh, so you're just copying this person?
Right.
LOL, okay.
No one would ever say that.
No, and if they did, I'd be like, what are you talking? Shut
get
up.
out of here,
Don't talk. Who are you? So it's just a weird, like, internet thing. So.
But I will say, I mean, I don't know if this is what they were trying to do, but, through the bunch of nice comments we got, we spent all this time talking about a negative one.
I know.
And it's unfortunate that's what we're talking about.
I mean, I didn't
I'm
know.
the one who brought it up.
I didn't know we were going to.
No, it was more about how it made me react in an unusual way.
It did. It really did.
I was frustrated.
It got you good.
But I do want to say all the nice comments we got have been amazing.
Doesn't read a single one.
What?
He reads the entire conversation with the. No,
I
it's
don't know
too late
why,
now.
but food review videos are my guilty pleasure.
Too late now, dude.
Food reviews are so peak. We need more of these. Not a big onion ring guy. Okay, should we move on?
Oh, that's
all
funny.
comments are comments.
That's true.
I'm joking,
Tim literally choking on his own rage. I will say, I hope the commenter, because I invited them to subscribe. So I hope that they actually listen to this.
Right, they listen to this episode.
Because I'm telling you, dude, it is a legit possibility that this person saw us.
Yep.
And you put this on any like hateful comment across the internet. They saw us and they was like, they saw us and they
saw us.
They were like, these dudes steal videos from my favorite YouTuber, Pibbles, or what's his name? Peebs.
Pibble.
I keep wanting to call him Pibby, and I don't know what a Pibby is.
Pibby was that Adult Swim like.
Oh,
cartoon.
yeah.
Yeah,
That keeps getting in my head. Peebs.
Well, it never came out, but
Shut up, dude.
Peebs came out. Not like came out, but he exists. Not like Pibby.
And then that commenter could be like, these guys suck. And then they could go through our stuff and be like, oh, actually, I kind of enjoy this.
Do you think anybody's ever done that in the history of anything?
I'm trying to think. It's hard for me to say because I don't comment like that on stuff. Or I don't like, if there's something I don't like.
Like, yeah, I wonder.
I don't.
Because I want to believe that people like will change or be more open to like if they.
It's happened. Sorry, go
No,
ahead.
no, I was just
thought
like-
of an example.
Yeah, you give the example.
Did you ever hear the story of Patton Oswalt? The comedian Patton
Yeah.
Oswalt. He, I can't remember the exact. You could look it up because it was such a cool moment that it was like reported on. So I'm gonna butcher the details, but it was something like someone tweeted at Patton about his wife's death, which if you guys are unfamiliar, it's so heartbreaking, and Patton did an incredible stand-up special after it happened, and it's a really great special, heartbreaking story about his wife passing away, and someone tweeted at him making a joke about it, like something really dark, like your wife, died to get away from her bad jokes, or like something like too soon, not cool, man. And Patton responded with a very kind-hearted, like, dude, to say something that dark, you have to be going through something or whatever. And the dude ended up coming back and being like, I'm literally going through the worst time of my life, and ended up having like a nice conversation with him. And like, it totally flipped the thing. Like Patton Oswalt didn't take it as, super personal. He just was like, kind of what I'm saying about like just people on the internet. They're not always in their right mind. They're not talking the way they do in person. I would bet like a good percentage of haters, were they to meet the person they're hating on in person, like apart from their content or their internet personality or whatever, would probably like have a civil conversation.
Yeah, they'd probably totally be fine in person.
Absolutely.
I've seen a lot of people go back on it too. People will write nasty comments on like TikToks or whatever short form video you're watching. And the person who made the video will comment back and, same thing, kill them with kindness. Just say like something nice or be like, I'm sorry you feel this way or whatever. And then the person will come back and completely backstep everything they said. And it's like, oh my God, I can't believe you saw my comment. I didn't mean it.
I've seen that too.
But why would they say it in the first place?
That's the thing. Like, it's like you're caught, dude. Don't be dumb. Don't do that. It's like
because they know it's wrong to begin with if they're backpedaling after being caught.
I think it's the unfortunate ability to just type whatever you want as soon as you think it.
Yeah.
And just go. I don't have that ability. I'm not saying
Is it an ability or a bad trait?
Yeah, I don't have that impulse, I guess, because it's probably from being like kind of a people pleaser and like not wanting to be. I don't want to be mean to anyone. I don't want to make anyone feel bad.
I just don't see any value in it anyways. Like,
no, and I also I like to look at whatever the thing is that the person is creating. I don't know. This will get into like a rabbit hole probably, but I just when I see comments like that, I just like I said, I imagine the interaction in person, and it's just very different.
Right.
And like a comment like this. That's why I responded the way I did, because I was like, all right, well, which for context, if you're not going to look at the comment or whatever, I basically just said, like, we filmed our video before the video came out, but you don't have to believe us. You don't know us and don't have to trust us. But I hope you check out our other videos and hang out. And that was essentially it. And I meant it sincerely. Like, you don't have to believe us. That's whatever. But stop wasting your time here. Like, if you're gonna
if you don't like it, see ya.
Yeah, just go away. For their sake too.
Right.
Like, I don't.
Life's too short to be hating on random YouTubers.
Dude, that's the thing. I can't. I feel like recently I've kind of realized that so much of the conversations that happen on the internet are such a waste because not only, like you said, like they'll backpedal because they're like. They realize what they said or what they did.
Yep.
But it's just not really that person. Like, I don't know. It's like if you're going to be fake or impulsive, then those are the people that are considered like nobody wants to be around those people in real life. If they just like overstep constantly, they're criticizing everything you do, like all that stuff. That's not a person anybody wants to be around.
No.
So why are 90% of the people online like that? It doesn't make any sense.
No,
it's so silly.
Yeah. No, it's right. Because like, they have to look at themselves and be like, I don't want to talk to me. They wouldn't want to be with themselves. I assume. I mean, but there are people, like you said, like, Patton Oswalt responding to that guy. There are probably a lot of people who are hurt out there.
Absolutely.
And who are having a really hard time. And the only way they can do anything or I guess feel anything is to be negative on the internet.
That crossed my mind with this comment. My voice has been in and out this week. I apologize if it gets gravelly.
Yeah. You were yelling at this guy.
Yeah, I was
phone.
screaming.
Yeah.
While I was driving at work today, I was like, how dare you! LOL, okay? What? Tim's gonna be furious! That'll help the rest of the show.
That'll do it.
I hope that bit was worth it.
You got a drink over there.
What the hell was I talking about? Oh, yeah. When this person responded to you, and we're in a bigger, I don't mean to harp on this one little comment. We're in a bigger conversation now. But when this person responded to you, I was like, wow, imagine taking the time to be like, ha, I got you.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you got defensive. The fact that I responded to your comment accusing us of theft.
Right. On our own YouTube video where we responded to everybody else's comment.
Of course we were like, so it made me think of like what you just said. Like some people, I'm like, does this person not have anything else going on? And I don't mean that in like a judgmental or hateful way, but I'm like, legit to have that kind of time or to be spending your time doing that, I kind of feel bad. I'm like,
you're better than me because when I see it, I always just view it as trash, and I'm like, I'm not going to let trash talk to me.
So some people are that way. I think some people are saying, not saying that they are trash, but just that like they don't realize how like cruel and useless their behavior is.
Yeah.
And I just am like, why? Why? And granted, some stuff on the internet might deserve the criticism, but when it's just like, you know, I don't know, it's based on preference or opinion and you just decide to cut someone down or come at them. I just like...
Especially like, how did he stumble upon our video in the first place? Did it get recommended? Was he looking up the Sonic videos? And then did he watch our video and be like, oh, you copied him? Or was it just the thumbnail or the title? And then they just went to the video like, who knows how it led to where it did?
Yeah.
If they even put in any effort or none at all. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's just... if you're out there commenting bad things on people's stuff, just remember there's people on the other end.
It's very true. Yeah, I think that's super important. Like, think of it as an actual conversation.
Yeah.
I've told this story before, but I remember saying that I liked an album online, and the response that I got from the person who'd posted, they posted how they didn't like an album, and I responded, I was like, oh, I actually really liked it. And that's how I phrased it. I actually really liked it. Read how you want online, but that's what I wrote. And they said, cool, keep that information to yourself. And I was like, if we were talking in person, like you would never, if you were like, I didn't like that album, and I was like, oh, I liked it. You would be like, shut up, idiot.
Yeah, like keep it to yourself.
Like what?
No, I assume that would open the door for discussion. Okay,
That's what
why
I was
did you
thinking.
like it?
Yeah.
Why didn't I like it? Like,
It's super weird. So it's think of it in person and like, how would you talk? How would you want to meet a person? Even if you're giving criticism, like sometimes I see a comment and I still probably wouldn't put in this much effort, but I see people be like, this is really cool, but I would do like X, Y, and Z, which gets a little tricky because if someone's posting something and not asking for advice or your input, for sure hold on to it. But I've seen some comments and I'm like, at least they're well-intentioned, like they're trying to help or whatever. But the internet is a strange, strange land.
it is
I know.
a land that we may never fully understand,
That's true.
but we live in it.
Maybe it's better that way.
It probably is.
I want to make a living on the internet so I can get off it as soon as possible.
That's really the end goal.
That's the dream.
Is you are on the internet to make enough money so you never have to be on it again.
Yeah, bye guys.
See ya.
Yeah,
We'd probably still always do the podcast. Even if we were millionaires, I think we'd still do it.
I love. Let me pause and say, everyone who's listening and watching, friends of the show, we love you. I feel like our little community is very cool.
Every single person in it, I would kiss.
Yeah, and I want you to know that goes for that commenter as soon as they sub,
Sad day.
or even
But
if
I
they
would.
just.
I would.
Tim's a man of his word,
I
an angry.
I kiss all, friend or foe, as long as they're
Angry
subscribed.
man of his word. Yes, that's the one. Tim's love is very conditional.
Speaking of love,
Yeah,
it's time to test mine. Let's go to TV.
I'm ready. I'm not ready. I'd like to point out two things.
Yes.
Number one, last week we definitely said, we're not going to watch anything this week because we need to get to video games
We
and
do.
books and food.
And food.
And we watched something that we're definitely going to talk about for the rest of the podcast.
We have to.
We have to.
It's so much to unpack.
I also want to point out our personalities, our video game personas being worn.
Yes.
Tim's wearing Sonic and Knuckles, and I'm wearing Silent Hill. Nothing could be like more exemplary of
Mario, Luigi.
You're.
I'm just saying, does the colors.
I need
Even
you
though
guys-
my hat says Pikachu on it.
Can you guys comment? And I am wearing a green hat, but can you guys just comment and be like, I want everyone to comment, no, Tim, you're Luigi. You're younger and taller. It has to happen. Do you not want to be Luigi?
I'll be Luigi.
I really want to.
A lot of people love Luigi.
I love Luigi.
So there we go.
I love you, buddy. I really want to cosplay Mario and Luigi.
We have
like
to.
at PAX.
Yeah.
It would be so perfect.
It's ridiculously perfect.
Oh, could we do Sonic and Knuckles? That's harder.
If you want to be Knuckles after what we're about to talk about,
All right.
more power to you.
Hey, dude, spoilers. Let me give a little recap,
Yes.
if it's okay with you.
Please.
Sonic came out in 2020.
Yes.
That was like the first big back to theaters event. So,
No, it was before the end of theaters.
oh, it was right before.
It came out on Valentine's Day, if I recall.
You're right. So it was about a month before the shutdown.
Yeah.
So it was our big last hurrah at the theaters. And after edits, what is now famously known as Ugly Sonic, everybody's afraid of this furry disaster we're going to see on screen. We finally get Sonic the Hedgehog. It was a blast. The action was great. Jim Carrey's Robotnik was incredible. Loved it.
Yes.
Post-credit scene that was really exciting. And then a couple years later?
Yeah, 2023?
Yeah, sounds right.
Or 22?
I feel like 22.
Yeah, I think so.
That'd be my guess. We get Sonic the Hedgehog 2, introduces Knuckles.
22, yep.
Played by Idris Elba, which was a much better voice casting than I understood because I think he fits this Knuckles so well.
Yeah, it was weird at first just because, you
hear him.
You hear him.
Yep.
You hear the voice and you're like, oh, okay. Because I think no matter what, when there's a new voice for a character that you already have a voice for, it's going to be weird no matter what.
Yes.
Same with like Keanu Reeves being Shadow. We assume it actually still hasn't been confirmed. Just everybody and their mother said it was confirmed, but Keanu hasn't said anything. The Sonic movie people haven't said anything. Anyways, let's hope that's really the case. But hearing him as Shadow when it happens, it's still going to be weird.
Yeah, because it's like you know who it is. And Idris, same thing. Like I feel like very recognizable voice.
Yep.
But it didn't take me long to settle into like, okay, this is what Knuckles sounds like.
Yep, same for me. I thought he did a good job.
I loved 2. And I think I just want to mention this because this is going to come up in what we discuss.
Yes.
The thing that brings it back a little bit for me, and it loses some points, is this oddly central focus on the human story of Sonic's adoptive family's sister.
Yes.
And her marriage.
Yes.
And it just like, it is so unnecessary and peripheral and takes you out of what you're there for.
Right. Because you're watching Sonic and Tails like go off on this grand adventure. And it keeps taking you away to go back to the wedding. And you're like, I'm here to watch Sonic and Tails. And sure, they eventually meet up and the stories combine, but still, you don't care about that story.
You don't. And I don't,
combine.
it's used, I think, to move along like one plot point, and you really don't need the whole wedding thing. And I couldn't care less about it.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like very, very unnecessary. But other than that, I would say because of that, it was as good as the first one, not better, because I think that whole like human plot just kind of pulled you away. But some great stuff, more Robotnik. Knuckles was great. Tails was great.
Yeah.
And then we heard tale of, no pun intended, Knuckles coming out. So here we are, 2 years later.
2 years later.
And Paramount Plus has the 6-episode miniseries, Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Or, I don't know, did you actually know that it has a different name in some other places?
No.
Yeah, because...
what is it, Red Sonic?
There was...
Red guy.
No, it was Knuckles, the Wade Whipple story.
Oh, that's... Honestly... That's what it should be called.
I'm making that up. It's not true.
Okay. That should be the name.
It's not true.
No, it should be Wade Whipple and Knuckles.
Wade Whipple featuring Knuckles. Yeah, we're giving away our biggest gripes right up front. But I was very excited about this going into it. And... I guess, how do you want to do it? You want to go episode by episode?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know. Spoiler territory. I don't know what we're going into.
Yeah, I mean, some spoilers, but there's really, I mean, I would say, in my opinion, there's not a whole lot to be spoiled here.
Yeah, I think those who have seen it have already seen it.
You always say that.
I know, but in this case, I feel like...
It's been out for an hour.
It's been out for a week.
All right, let me
I won't go full spoilers, but...
Yeah, so caution if you care to like watch it completely blind. I wouldn't exactly advise it, but the other thing I'll say here, just I feel like this is important to say, we are reviewing this as Sonic fans, but also I think I can speak for both of us when I say very well aware that this isn't exclusively made for us. Like this is a family show. They're obviously appealing to, which I think the movies did a great job of appealing to longtime fans as well as the new fans and kids. Like I'm not, I see this a lot in like turtle fandom where it's like, oh, this isn't my turtles. Like it's too childish. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, you're 40 and there are children who are also interested. Like you have to, I have, I'm fortunately, I still have fun with cartoons. So I've been able to watch all the iterations of Turtles and be like, I grew up, the reason I care about Turtles is because I watched a children's cartoon when I was a kid. Right. So you have to look at it through that lens. So I just want to be clear, like, there are moments I'm going to be like, this was so goofy. And it was like beyond goofy.
Yeah.
Not like, this should be made for me and not children. I'm aware of that. Okay?
Yeah, no, I think you nailed it, because I think a lot of the things that happen in this are more like if you were to have your family gathered around after dinner on like Tuesday night before kids go to bed. They're like, let's watch The Brady Bunch, or let's watch like where it's like more of a family sitcom as opposed to being what it is. Or what we assumed it would be, which is a Knuckles show.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it would be that, but it did feel like, I mean, the movies were family friendly, of course.
But those felt like they catered towards everyone.
Yes, where this one did feel a step down humor-wise.
Sometimes. Because there were some good jokes.
There were. So I would say the first episode is really promising because we come in and we see Sonic and Tails right away, a cameo from the crew that we know, which is very cool.
Yep.
And we see a little bit of action with Knuckles early on, which I thought was also cool.
Yep.
And throughout the episode, you realize you're getting kind of like a fish out of water story for Knuckles. And I would say, after having seen the whole thing, I think the goal of this, in my estimation, was to do for Knuckles what the first movie did for Sonic, which was establish him on Earth with a family.
Yes.
It seemed like that's what they were doing, which is like, okay, fine. I can appreciate that. By episode 2, you realize that a lot of this is about Wade Whipple, the police. Is he a deputy?
I think he's a deputy, yeah.
And he's in Sonic 2. I barely remember him.
Legitimately did not remember him at
Okay.
all. Maybe I needed to rewatch
the first one. I picture there is like a bumbling.
I think he is in the first one. He's in the second one too.
Yeah. Oh, he is.
But I again did not remember him at all.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't either. So there's a story set up where Wade is basically taking in Knuckles, and he's a. There's so much going through my head. So he's a bowler, and he's
Wade is not Knuckles.
Yeah, Knuckles is not into bowling.
No.
And the whole thing is like Knuckles wants to train Wade to be a warrior and trying to find out like what's your battleground, and it's this bowling backdrop where he goes to these events and he's deep into it. Bowling is his thing, and early on you see he's like, he's just in the dumps, down and out, poor Wade, because he's getting replaced on his bowling team by a little girl who's way better than him, and all this stuff's happening.
Loses his best friend, not because of death, but because of bowling.
Yes, exactly, because of bowling. And you're like, all right. In episode 2, I'm like, all right, well, they're doing this relationship thing between the two of these guys, and the other story that's going on is gun agents are looking for Knuckles, and they're going to, there's a bounty. They're trying to capture him. Did they even wrap that thread up, actually? I don't know. Never mind. Yeah. So these two agents show up, and they're trying to hunt down Knuckles. After the first 2 episodes, I was like, there's a couple of fun things in the first one. Christopher Lloyd as...
Go ahead.
I don't even know. I have no idea.
People say his name all the time, and as a Sonic fan, I should know his name. I can't pronounce it for the life of me.
They say it so many times. He's like an Echidna elder.
Yeah. Where is...
They make a joke out of it in the show, like how difficult it is to say his name.
And the whole name doesn't fit on IMDb.
It doesn't. But it was just cool to hear him in the show.
Chief Pachamac? Pachacamac?
Let me look it up.
Pachacamac? Pachacamac?
Pachacamac.
Yeah.
Pachacamac. So
they do make a joke about it because it is like a crazy name.
Yeah. So what I gathered from the first 2 episodes is I was like, all right, all these characters are like pretty cheeseball, couple good jokes, whatever. It's not terrible to watch, but there's just nothing great here.
Yeah, I was totally everything you said so far. I agree. I thought first episode was great. Second episode was establishing things, and I was like, and I was on Twitter, and the discourse for this was horrific.
Really?
People are saying it's the worst Sonic media ever. It was like there's a huge turning point where everyone hates it, and I'm like, oh my god, how bad does it really get? So first 2 episodes in, I'm like, I'm fine with it. I didn't love it, but it was good. It was fine.
That's how I felt. I wasn't mad at it.
Yep.
It's like a little bit more for kids than I expected, like more so than the movies. But I'm excited to see what they do with Knuckles' story through this. You said that the big turning point for a lot of people was episode 3.
Episode 3 is the episode where people turn on it. So not necessarily like they like can't finish it or whatever, but they're like, oh, this is where it starts falling apart.
Interesting. For me, okay, it definitely starts there. So what happens in episode 3 is, we've established at this point, it's like a buddy show. You have Wade and you have Knuckles, and they're kind of doing everything together.
Yep.
You understand where the storyline's going at this point. You get a thread about how Wade's father abandoned him as a kid, and bowling is like his thing that he feels comfortable doing, he feels at home doing, and he's trying to get to this tournament at the end of. You can tell that's like the whole point. That's the end game that we're shooting for here. In episode 3, you meet Wade's family. Wade brings Knuckles back to his family's house, and I try to be kind.
Right.
This might be kind of a personal thing. The actor who plays Wade,
Yes.
reads to me as, and this feels super mean to say, but because I'm a fan of Nick Swardson and have been for a long time, he reads very much to me as like for lack of a better term, like a discount Nick Swardson.
Okay.
So he does this kind of like, it's his comedic timing and the way he says things and his mannerisms and everything. It reminds me so much of Nick Swardson, but not as funny, which might not be the actor's fault. Might be the writing. I mean, there's a lot of things at play here, but him and his sister were absolutely insufferable to me.
They were not well. His sister in particular.
Rough.
I have never disliked a character more.
Yeah.
In anything, I don't think.
Yeah, and she felt like, if anyone's familiar with Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I'm not trying to refer to these people as discount versions of other people, but character-wise, seemed like Gina from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but like a not good version.
Oh, way worse.
Yeah, like, but it's like they were channeling these things and not quite hitting the notes, and it just felt like the comedy was meant to be at a certain level and never got there, and you could see through it all. Yeah. And it was like, it was really frustrating because I'm like, I get what they're trying to do, and what they're trying to do is this brother and sister as adults going at each other. She's an FBI agent. He's an officer.
Is she though?
I don't know if she is. I don't know if she is. The whole like, is she pretending to be, or
she wears that jacket or sweatshirt the whole time?
And the whole thing is that they have this like,
I guess that's
rivalry. I mean, is it? I don't know. Like, I got to a point where I was jaded, and I just got frustrated, which I'll talk about when we get to the next episode. But there was a moment at the end of this episode that I thought was pretty endearing, involving Knuckles and Wade's mom.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, that was my one positive for that episode is it had heart. It had like, I think the message they were trying to go for of like family and Knuckles learning about like what it means to be family and the traditions and stuff like that. Like that had a lot of heart in it. But the rest of the episode, it was just nothing. There was just nothing like, it just felt useless, especially in a show called Knuckles.
Yes.
Where Knuckles is definitely in it, but he is not the main character.
No, not at all. Not at all. And this is why I say episode 4 was the turning point for me. Knuckles isn't in it.
Well,
there's an episode. Knuckles shows up at let me tell you how this happens. This scene opens, or the episode opens, and Knuckles is like on the porch drinking coffee.
Yeah.
Wade gets, I'm saying this out of order. Wade walks out. He gets like
lassoed.
Yeah, lassoed by a guy on a motorcycle and dragged away. And his family's like, "Aren't you going to help him?" And Knuckles is drinking a whole pot of coffee, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, he needs to like find his way or whatever." And then we do not see Knuckles until the last, 10 seconds of the episode.
Yeah.
And the whole time, I'm like, there's no chance that we don't get Knuckles in this episode at all. They've completely, unabashedly shift focus from the only reason I'm watching this show to this new person that they're trying to tell me I care about.
Right.
And I do not care about this person.
Not even a little bit.
At all.
No.
The person I cared about more in this episode was his ex-best friend / bounty hunter.
He was cool.
He's great. That guy is so funny.
Here's the thing. That episode's really fun.
It is fun. Well, That's the musical episode?
Yes.
I hated the musical part.
Really?
Hated it.
I thought it was fun.
Nightmares.
Now,
I hated it.
Nightmares.
Nightmares.
It's
Jack Sinclair was his
Jack Sinclair,
his enemy, his nemesis.
Yeah, and I mean that episode has so many problems with it. Like, I mean, there's one point where he becomes super strong and like breaks through this huge metal electric cage.
Yeah.
And his strength never comes back into play again. But if he's strong enough to like break through that, I don't know. Anyways, that's just a stupid.
I was
thing,
so
but-
mad at that moment. I don't even think I recognize that. Now that you're saying it,
Yeah.
I'm like angrier than I was
He
about it.
smashed through this
Yeah.
huge metal electric gate or
Yeah.
cage that he's in. Anyways, but yeah, the musical part I thought was fun. It's out of left field, makes no sense.
And it felt like, so at this point I was feeling resentment. So if there's anything cool that happened from this moment on,
Yeah,
I couldn't get past how little Knuckles was involved. Like
Yeah.
it's literally like, it's like making, it's like if when the Ninja Turtles show comes out, the Mutant Mayhem show, which comes out on Paramount, which now terrifies me. If that show comes out and the focus shifts from the Turtles to some kid they go to school with.
Oh my God.
And there's episodes without the Turtles entirely.
Yeah.
Or like a teacher. We leave the school with a teacher at some point and
Yep.
learn how like he's trying to like, I don't know, rekindle a relationship with his estranged daughter or whatever. Like that's literally what this felt like. I'm
Yeah.
like, who is this guy? I don't care about this guy.
No, especially because his buildup from the first two movies is nothing. Nobody remembered who he was.
No.
I get it if Donut Lord was there, if it
Yeah.
was someone that's been in the movies, more of a main character. But yeah, it just like for a show called Knuckles.
Yeah.
And for a fandom as rabid as Sonic is, and their love for these characters,
Yeah.
why on God's green earth would you make a show and not focus on this Sonic character? Why would you make it focused on a human, which everyone universally agrees is the weakest part of the movies? You're not going to see the Sonic movie so you can see humans.
No.
You know?
No. And we talked about this recently with, it's a little bit different, but similar. Maybe it's not that different, but we talked about Godzilla and Kong, those
Yes.
movies having a human element. And there are overall, like, I in Skull Island particularly, I liked it because it gave it kind of like a Jurassic Park vibe, like a little bit more action adventure.
Yeah.
Then in Godzilla vs. Kong, it was like, there were moments where I was like, well, we don't need quite this much backstory on the humans, but I didn't think it was weak. I thought it was a good story. And then in New Empire, the one that just came out, the human stuff was like pretty weak, but we got a ton of time with just the monsters.
Yes.
And we were both surprised at how well that worked. This is like a whole different level where it's not that difficult to give us time with the characters that already speak.
Yep.
And like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you can give me 15 minutes with like a non-verbal ape monster clan and it's effective and emotional.
Yeah.
Can I hang out with Knuckles for a minute,
For
dude?
just a minute.
For a minute.
Because these episodes are 30 minutes a pop.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're getting a lot of screen time anyways with Knuckles.
No.
A lot of people said it's budget reasons. Like,
Okay, I've heard that. Don't make the show,
Don't make
dude.
the show.
If you don't have the money to put Knuckles in it,
yeah,
don't make it. I don't need it.
don't do it.
I'm fine without it. Wait.
Or make it less episodes.
Yes, I know.
Make it a 3-episode miniseries, a
and,
limited series.
and put Knuckles in them.
Yeah.
Put Knuckles in the episode.
Maybe you should throw Knuckles in. Because from that point on, episode 4, 5, and 6, again, Knuckles barely in it.
Yeah, he's barely in it. He's like,
Even to the point where there's like a huge climactic moment with Wade, and he is not in the like bowling alley, like cheering him on with everybody else. He is completely.
Oh yeah, where is he?
He's in his room eating Doritos. He literally at one point Wade goes up to the bedroom, and Knuckles is sitting on bed eating Doritos.
That's right.
Product placement is crazy in this too.
Yeah.
Lots of Doritos, lots of crazy stuff.
As
But
for Doritos, though, can I be mad at that?
I know, right? Knuckles eating Doritos is pretty cool. But yeah, he is just absent through like significant portions of Wade's story too.
And yeah, and the like action scene at the end,
Yeah.
is a Wade action scene.
It really is. There's one action scene earlier in that episode that's cool
Is there?
between Knuckles and the two agents.
Yes.
And that's cool.
That
but
is
it's so
cool.
quick. It's a minute. It's a little over a minute long, that
Yep,
sequence.
that was cool. And actually, that was also the scene that I was like, see, they're getting the comedy here where one of the agents gets a call from his mom while he's attacking Wade.
That was way earlier, though.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was in episode 2.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, because then Knuckles fights them later in the...
After he gets rescued or something?
No. No.
I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, he. It's not even worth remembering.
Yeah,
I don't blame you, Brad. I don't blame you.
Yeah, so 4 is when I started feeling resentment. And like I said, it was hard to see past that because all the way through 5, I was like, wow, we're just going to watch some bowling.
Yep.
And then you start to feel weird because they go to the bowling and to the tournament, and the 2 commentators are really funny.
Yeah.
There's 2 bowling commentators that...
And they're good actors. They're like well-known actors.
Yeah, it's like a dodgeball vibe where
Yeah.
the commentators are like really funny. We're going back and forth between them, and they were like the best part of the finale. But I'm like, I'm having a hard time even enjoying this. Like,
Because there's just nothing there to enjoy.
yeah, like why
Not in the for the characters.
Yeah.
Knuckles doesn't show up. It just felt like a weird NBC or ABC like sitcom that they couldn't get picked up, so they slapped Knuckles in.
Yeah.
And they're like,
to what? Get kids to watch it?
I don't know, because it's not. You can't get kids to watch this.
No.
You couldn't, because there's no story. For
Maybe.
the kids.
I mean, maybe.
For what? You want Sim and Jazz to sit through episode 3?
No.
And 4? Like 4's the one I think kids will have fun with because it's got the music, it's puppets, it's goofy, it gives you a huge lore backdrop that, as a Sonic fan, was cool, but also like crazy because
Didn't we get it in 2 though?
to a degree, yeah,
Like that's enough for me.
yeah. I mean, it's true.
I'll take more, but not like this.
Yeah. Again, if they gave us like an hour-long Knuckles special, even where he just because like one of the other things is his hat. You know, he just gets it. Wade just gives it to him because Wade's the one who gets the hat
Oh, that's right.
and the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like all this stuff that could be part of Knuckles'
Why would
journey.
they? Yeah.
It's nothing. It's all just Wade.
Wade gets the hat.
Yeah.
Dude.
Wade and gives it to Knuckles. Doesn't even show him giving it to him. The next scene is just Knuckles wearing it. It's there's an after credit scene which you think is like, oh, this is great. It's nothing.
Wait, is there?
There is on the last episode. Yeah.
Oh, I think I saw it.
It's like 10 seconds of just like a reference to an earlier joke. But yeah, there's just like,
That's right. Oh, yeah, it's bad.
yeah, it's bad.
I remember it.
So another point of discussion people are having is, and I don't know where this is coming from, so don't quote me on it, but I think it was the director or the writer or something, but they said that they didn't want it to be required watching material for the 3rd Sonic movie. They didn't want to do what Marvel was doing and have you subscribe and go watch it. So they didn't want to put in a lot of important heavy lore stuff.
Okay, so they put in none.
Right. They essentially, because where Knuckles is going to be at the start of 3, I think the most we'll see is he'll have his hat. Maybe. They might not even give him the hat.
So that's the thing. There is nothing. Not only is it like not required viewing.
Yeah.
I would say it's a sleeper. Don't watch this.
I as a Sonic fan, it hurts me to say because when Knuckles is on screen, it's the best part.
Yeah.
But because he's not on it a lot.
Don't feel like you have to say it. But
No.
for me,
Yeah.
this is one of my very few sleepers. I would literally skip this show. I wouldn't watch it.
I can't think of a valuable reason. Again, episodes 4 is fun. It's really like that. Unfortunately, I think episode 1 and 4 are the highlights for me. And just because episode 4 is all over the place.
Yeah, and Knuckles again, maybe 20 seconds of Knuckles in it. So yeah, it's a fun episode. You could watch it alone because
You really could.
like it literally, you don't need anything
Yeah.
around it. They explain everything, and
It hurts my heart. It hurts my heart.
yeah, man, it's not good.
No. Reviews give it a 6.4 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean,
I know. I'm hard pressed to say anything I really liked about it. It's like
I got to a point, and like I said, I could have been blinded by resentment, but I got to a point where I was like, how were they making this episode? And nobody was like, hey, is Knuckles in this?
Yeah.
Like, is this about him at all?
could be a money reason. No matter like creatively, people could have been like, "This is stupid. He's not in it." Now you could argue he is in it because Wade dresses up as Knuckles.
But again, it's Wade. Now they're even putting him in the skin of the character in there to see. It's disrespectful.
I think the next movie, instead of Knuckles, they're just going to have Wade. It's going to be Sonic, Tails, and Wade.
I think so too. They're like, we didn't have the budget, so.
We'll just throw Wade in.
Dude.
Yeah. I'm curious. I will say at the end, I do, as much as I don't care about Wade and anything like that, when I see him in the movie, I'll be like, hey, it's Wade. Like, it'll be fun to point him out.
Yeah.
But, like, I wonder if he's going to have any significance in the story either. Probably not.
Probably not. And that's,
So, like, what was this? What was the point?
I don't know, man.
There's not many shows where I finish it and I wonder, what was the point?
I literally, seriously, there was nothing there. Like, Wade's not even like the worst character or anything.
No.
It's just like, I didn't go to the show for him the same way I wouldn't for, what's his name? Donut Lord. Whatever his name is. Like
know,
Sonic's adoptive family. I wouldn't watch a show all about them.
No. With hints of Sonic popping in, like, hey guys.
Yeah, like
bye.
He's playing video games in the next room, so you just see lights and hear the voice.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know, man. It was very confusing to watch, and it just kept getting literally less and less and less of Knuckles and realizing like, oh, this is legitimately just a story about this dude.
Yeah.
Like trying to like reconcile his dad leaving him, and like, I don't know, man. It was just like,
it was so weird.
Yeah. It felt like the worst bait and switch.
Yeah.
Also, there's a moment where his mom says something, like calls his dad a schmuck or something. And I thought it was a joke. The way he turned around, he was like, he's not a schmuck. He's my dad.
They did.
I was like, bro, don't. I rewound it and I was like, did he just say it the way I heard it? He literally over his shoulder, he's like, he's my dad. I was like, bro, don't.
That's the whole thing. He like idolizes his dad throughout the whole thing. And but they do it to the point where it's like weird. Like he's a little kid.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't understand the focus of the show. I don't understand anything about
I
it.
don't either, man.
Suckles.
Yeah.
Sleeper.
It's a sleeper, dude. I literally would advise you skip it.
Yeah.
The last note I had on it is if you care to see what Knuckles you might miss in this, you could probably look up a Knuckles compilation from the whole show and it'll be less than 4 minutes. And you will see all of the Knuckles that you get in this show.
I know, it's kind of crazy.
It's short, so...
Yeah, 6 episodes, 30 minutes each.
There's that.
Less than 30, actually.
Sad, bro.
Sad.
Now what?
Let's go to movies.
All right.
Ooh, let's go to the movies.
Surely you must have watched a good movie this week.
Oh, of course, Brett. Yeah. Nothing says, good movies like a sequel to a well-beloved franchise.
Right.
Something that people have been clamoring for. Part 1 was, I think, one of the best movies I watched last year. Iconic. So the fact that they made a sequel so soon after, too.
So soon, ready to go.
I was blown away. Actually, did I even watch this movie last year? Yeah, I think it was Christmas last year. Anyways.
What a gift.
What a gift. So after the delicious course that was Knuckles, I was like, what else? What other treat can I give myself? And so I decided to watch Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver. Which, if you don't recall, the joking aside, Rebel Moon was awful. Part 1 was just a travesty. Through and through, that movie was a slog to get through. It felt really slow and then really fast, and it was just bad. It was just really bad.
Hated it.
So
Tim did. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, and you're better off. So I decided to watch Part 2. Because I'm invested, man.
Yeah.
I didn't sit through 2 hours of terribleness just so I could miss out on another 2 hours of terribleness.
Right. It's Snyder. There's no way it's 2 hours or less.
Right. It is, I think specifically, 2 hours and 2 minutes to be exact.
Yeah, he's got to break that 2 hour mark.
I will start this off by saying, instead of it being 2 hours of terribleness, it's only 1.
Oh.
It's a little pleasant. I'll get to that. But first, the first hour of this movie is exactly the same as Part 1. Trash, boring, useless. The characters suck. They're giving you backstories for every character, and I couldn't care less. The motivations, the bad guys. It's just like, please send me down the river and light me on fire.
Give
I
me
go
a
down.
living Vikings funeral.
Like, just send me away from this. It's just more of the same. I mean, I can't harp on it anymore because everyone knows it's bad.
If this is anyone's first episode, they're going to be like, these guys hate everything.
It is seriously the most negative episode
Ever.
If we get to games, I got negative things in there too.
Oh, I can't wait.
But yeah, so first half of this movie, first hour, pretty much it's the first hour is just the same as part one. You just skip it, honestly, because the second half of this movie actually is okay.
Really? Oh,
Now-
it's okay.
Now, I will say my expectations were set to -2. So the fact that I enjoyed the second half of the movie is because my expectations were so low. I just expected trash.
I mean, that does say something to get halfway through a movie, be hating it,
Yes.
and then to enjoy the second half.
I had
That's kinda
fun.
wild.
And you know what it is?
I don't.
The Snyder magic of action.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a huge, like, legitimate, like 45 minute battle of just like space, not lightsabers, but lightsaber battles, lasers going, people hand to hand combat. It's just a big fight fest, action
incredible.
fest. So it's fun. It's fun. And there's a lot of nonsensical things. Like there's a bunch of people fighting again with lasers and one guy running around shirtless with axes. And for whatever reason, he's not getting hit.
He's fine. Dude.
Yeah, he's just totally fine. Dodging
He's
lasers
got
and
axes.
everything. And there's other characters, like main characters, who are like hiding for a while for like a big dramatic entrance later, where they should just be helping in the big battle. So there's just a lot of the whole movie is one big trope, and
amazing.
some are done okay, some are not.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second half I was surprised because it was just like Snyder action.
It's good action.
Is it enough to save the movie? No, it's still an absolute sleeper.
Really? Don't. So you're saying don't watch either of these movies?
So far, don't watch any of them. And I say any of them because there's absolutely going to be a part 3.
Really?
Potentially a part 4.
Who's paying for this?
I don't know.
Bro, the Knuckles team can't keep Knuckles on screen for 3 episodes?
Yeah.
And Snyder's got a 4-part Star Wars ripoff that nobody likes?
Actually 5.
How?
But because how 1 and 2 was panned on, he said he might be only able to do 3 and 4 and not get to part 5.
Dude, you have to admire Snyder's persistence.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, I was going to do 5, but because everybody hated the first 2 I made, I'm only going to make 2 more.
That's all I got in me, guys. Maybe if you like the next 2.
Bro, we got 1 negative comment and almost called it quits.
We almost deleted the channel.
This dude's got he's got critics after him.
Some of the worst, people say it's one of the worst movies ever.
He's got 50% of the Keep Up podcast real angry. And he's like, I'm going to make 2 more.
I'm
Whatever.
gonna do it. Here's the thing. I'm in.
You're gonna watch
invested.
him.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch them. Whatever story's there, again, I don't care about it.
Does it look good? Like, is the cinematography cool?
To a degree? Like it's got like a cool like gritty style to it.
It's not enough to be worth watching.
No,
Because you can get it elsewhere.
You can get it elsewhere. The actual I mean, if you're in the mood to see, if you haven't seen a Snyder movie in a while and you want to see just like some really dumb, like you can't think of any of the action, or you don't even need to. You're just there to watch dumb action.
Yeah.
You can watch the second half of the movie. But it is just a sleeper.
Watch the second half of part 2.
Of part 2.
That's so
Ignore
funny.
the other 3 hours of content leading up to it. Yeah,
Sounds
there is
truly awful.
yeah, because the action's cool, but it's not enough to save anything. It
Yeah.
isn't. Special effects again, they're cool, but again, nothing that I haven't seen that hasn't been
Sure.
done better elsewhere. The story again, I don't care about anybody. When characters died, I was like, cool. Now we can go watch other action somewhere else.
You're like one less of them to deal with.
It's like I don't need any more backstory from them. They're done. Crossed off the list.
Wow.
Yeah, so and really ultimately it ended up being just a sci-fi rip-off version of Seven Samurai. Like,
Oh, okay.
Like very derivative, very
Yeah.
much just like I don't know what he was trying to do. I don't know. But yeah, sleeper again,
Wow.
fat sleeper.
So far, we've got nothing for you to watch.
No,
Nothing to keep on your list.
we're saving
This
them this
episode.
week. We're
Right,
helping
yeah.
them.
Saving you a lot of time.
But I'm hoping next week I'll have some keepers.
Yeah, dude. After the week we've had.
Yeah, we're due. Did you watch anything? Watch anything movie wise?
Did I this week? Let me take a look.
Knuckles
real quick.
might have taken up your whole week with how good it was. I know you had to watch it like
Dude,
4 times.
I tried to get through it as quickly as possible.
When I sent you the text, I was like, I feel bad about this, but I also need you to watch it.
Yeah, I was like halfway through the first episode, I think, when you texted me.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, it's so bad. No, I didn't really watch anything. We watched Batman Begins and what else? I think that was it. I think that's the only movie I watched this week. I had wanted to watch... I don't remember. What's the point of saying what I wanted to watch? You know what I mean? Where's
Your
that
intention's
conversation
there.
going to go? Yeah, I guess.
People can know what to watch so they can prepare to watch it to listen to us talk about it.
I don't even remember, dude. What was I going to watch? I watched a couple comedy specials this week. Nothing crazy, bro. I got nothing for you.
You're just living life.
You know what I mean?
Can
Busy, bro.
Can we jump into video games?
If you must.
Here we go.
I'm scared. Let's get negative.
Video games.
Let's get dangerous.
Unfortunately, I think it is another negative review here.
We haven't been in video games in a minute, though.
I know, and I have a million different video game things to talk about, but we're already an hour in
Oh,
again.
you do? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and that's not even like I deleted some stuff, and I have games I haven't even listed.
I'm looking at our shared note, and
Yeah.
we have a lot in here.
and I'm not talking about any of that.
Oh, really?
I'm talking because it's something that I've just been playing recently that I got to talk about now.
tickle in my throat.
No! Do you remember?
Do you
I
remember?
believe it was last year
I do remember last year, yeah.
or the year before.
Parts of it.
During one of the PlayStation or Xbox showcases for like the summer for
Sure.
like E3 or whatever,
Sure.
they showed off a trailer for a Hellboy game.
Oh, my gosh.
You remember that, yeah?
Yeah.
So that game came out.
Oh,
Literally no one played it. No one talked about it. Swept under the rug.
okay.
I bought it like 3 weeks ago.
You paid for it?
I paid money, but it was on sale. It was like $7. It's
not bad.
Not bad.
That's reasonable.
So I started it 2 days ago. Bought it a couple weeks ago. Started it a couple days ago.
All right.
And it is, it's so just okay. It's so just okay. It's very, very low budget. It
Why?
is-
Is all the money going to whatever Zack Snyder wants to do?
I think so. I think
Nobody has any money because we're making 32 Rebel Moons.
32 Rebel Moons. You got to keep it going, man.
Zach,
Part 3.
please,
Give us some money.
please give the Knuckles team a couple bucks.
They're starving over there.
Give Dark Horse and the Hellboy team just like $50 a week, a stipend or
That's
something.
it. Just so they can make a game that's bigger than my bedroom.
Just so they can have lunch for the team.
That's it. They're hungry.
Maybe saving them a food budget will let them make a decent game.
Right.
On this decades old property. They
Yes.
should have a decent game.
They should. They've had a couple games. I don't think any of them have been good. What I will say, but I'll start with the positive, is it's a cool visual style. You know, they try to copy the comic.
That's cool.
They do a little cell shading. And there's a lot of just cool, like comic booky type things as you're fighting, which is cool.
That is cool. They should do that because the visuals are such a big part of it.
Yes, and it's very much follows the comic more so than like the movies or any other interpretation. It is the comic design.
Okay.
That might be it for positives.
Oh no, we're done already.
So
this is so fast.
This is a roguelike.
I'm
which-
out.
Yeah,
I'm already out.
I don't know why I play these because every time I play one, I'm like, why am I here? Because if you don't know what a roguelike is, it requires you to repeat the game over and over and over. They basically give you like it's either one 2-hour path where you're fighting difficult bosses, difficult enemies, and if you die, you have to restart at the beginning. You get random items and weapons as you're going through. So this game's a roguelike, but it's separated into 5 worlds, and the worlds take I know you hear the dogs. The worlds take anywhere between 20 and 30 minutes.
Okay.
So
It's not awful.
No, it's not terrible. Now, how the game, like at least my experience so far, I went through the first 5 worlds.
Sure.
And it's just part of the story. Like it wasn't anything too tough. Some of the bosses were tough.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, maybe I'll beat this pretty quick. When you beat those 5 worlds, then the true enemy shows up, and you have to go through all those worlds again with a bonus area attached to it, another layer. So then it goes from 20 to 30 minutes to 30 to 40 minutes,
Okay.
and the enemies are stronger. So now I'm getting like 1 or 2 shotted and dying really quick. So that's when the roguelike starts to open up. So I went through all those again. It took me, I'm probably like, I don't know, 10, 12 hours into this game.
Okay.
It gets pretty boring because you are going through the same areas and fighting the same enemies again and again, as a roguelike does. And the gameplay, just to give you a quick view of that, Hellboy punches and punches.
No.
And punches. You get a gun. It's got most combat, you get like 3 bullets in because it takes too long to reload and everyone's on you. You don't get a chance to reload. So you're kind of using it as a way to like fend off enemies or shoot someone from far away. But all you're doing is pressing X. Just X, X, X. And you'll go punch, punch, hard punch. Or you hold it, he does a charge punch. That's it. It's very simplistic.
That's rough.
One of the most simplistic roguelikes I've ever played.
That's rough.
So yeah, the gameplay is pretty mindless. The loop, there's not a lot of items to get. Like in roguelikes, you're collecting a lot of cool loot to like level yourself up. It's not much. You can upgrade your gun, you can upgrade your fist, or put like special attachments on it. But it's like 3 of each category. It's by the end of the run, you have all the same items in the same spot every time.
Is it voiced?
It is voiced.
Is it Ron Perlman?
No.
You know what's weird? Wasn't he the voice in what was it called? It was like a Western roguelike.
Oh, Evil West.
Evil West. No, not Evil West.
No,
Left of Dead or West of Dead?
West of Dead.
Yes. Yeah. Isn't that Ron Perlman?
Yes, he is.
And that one was pretty fun.
Yeah.
That was also a roguelike.
Pretty similar, actually. The games are similar, but Hellboy, you're doing it over the shoulder, like a third-person over-the-shoulder perspective.
I wonder why they didn't get Ron Perlman to be Hellboy.
I don't know. And you know what? It's someone famous, really famous, who does Hellboy's voice.
Oh, really?
In it. His voice is everywhere. Keith David, I think.
Oh, the dude who was Spawn?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure it's him. Hold on. Also, the game's
Goliath.
Yes, he's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's Web of Wyrd is what the Hellboy's game called. It's what it's called. Hellboy Web of Wyrd, which I thought it was weird. It was called weird, but it's WYRD. And yeah, there's a story there. It's so just like forget about it.
WYRD.
Yeah, it's pronounced
gotcha.
word.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a story there, and I don't think it's based off a comic or anything, but it's very just like whatever. It's doesn't matter. So all that to say, I got to, I think what I'm going to call my stopping point, because after you beat the other 5 stages, then the final real super boss comes out. You go and fight him, but halfway through, he does something and causes Hellboy to get sent back to the beginning. And you have to go, not only do you have to go through all the worlds again, but you have to do it in one go. So instead of doing it by world, you have to do one, which is probably going to take like an hour and a half. That's assuming you're not going to die at any point in this run.
And if you die, where do you go back to?
The beginning. The very
like
beginning.
the very, very beginning?
Like the beginning, like the first world, the first level. So when you die, you can upgrade outside of that and like get more health and more shields and that stuff. So the incentive is for you to run through, get as much materials as you can, and then die whenever you die, and then get sent back and level up and run the loop again and again. But at this point, I've died on a bunch of runs, so I've probably gone through these levels 15 or so times. You know,
sounds exhausting.
Yeah, each one either 2 to 3 times because I've just been going through them.
Sure.
But yeah, to have me go through it all in one go, because each world has its own boss, and those bosses are not easy. I mean, I'm lucky to beat some of the ones I did. But then if I have to beat the bosses, and then there's a new super boss because they get added, and then the final super boss, it's just ridiculous. The game itself, no one has beat. Well, 2.8% of the people who bought the game have beaten it.
Wow.
That's the final achievement is 2.8% of the people. So not many. And I believe once you get to the second set of stages, only 8.4% of people have beaten the first world in the second phase. So
that's rough.
Either a lot of people jumped off of it, or
that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. So after all that, I unfortunately had to say it's a sleeper.
Yeah.
It's the combat it's all simplistic. It's all just very simple. And you can feel the budget. There's like some weird frame rate issues. Again, there's 3 enemy types per world, and that's all you see the whole time. They do change it up once you get to like the bonus worlds and stuff, but it's just the loop's just not satisfying. The story, like nobody moves their mouths. It's just all like weirdly voice acted, but Graphically, it's the strongest point, but it's still not great. Total sleeper.
Is Knuckles in it at all?
Knuckles would probably make it better. Hellboy's red, so
close.
He's close.
That's a team up I'd watch.
Yeah,
they both have giant fists.
Yeah, they do.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, total sleeper. And I know literally no one probably cares about it. No one even played it, but I have to do my duty and talk about these dead obscure games.
Yeah, now it's out there
Yeah.
that if you see it and you're like tempted to try it, you can be like, nah, Tim from the Keep Up told me not to play it.
There's better roguelikes out there.
We'll save you
There's
money.
better games. Go play Sonic and Knuckles.
Do that. Yeah. Knuckles is in that game.
He is.
Yeah. No budget issues on that one.
Technically, though, if you play a Sonic, all you see is Knuckles like a couple of times.
Yeah, but you're not even playing as Knuckles and he makes an appearance?
True. But it's like the Knuckles show. Shows up every like level at the end to like cause damage.
Yeah, but I'm not watching Sonic in the meantime. I'm watching Wade Whipple.
True. Wade is no Sonic.
Don't say that. I'm nervous that's what they're doing. The next movie is just going to be like,
Donut Lord, Wade, and Wedding Wife.
oh my gosh.
I don't know what her name is, but
Wedding Wife. That's amazing.
Wedding Wife. But that's my complaints for the week.
That's
That's it.
pretty good.
That's all I got.
That is pretty good.
Did you play any games?
I played Batman and Robin on Super Nintendo.
How's that?
That's fun.
It's not based off the movie, right?
No, it's based on the cartoon. Yeah, just side-scrolling, beat 'em up. It's the same enemies for like 6 or 7 levels or whatever. But it's it's cool. It's all the animated series enemies, and it looks great. It's fun. It's one thing that's crazy. I don't know. We've talked about this before, but how does anybody ever beat a game like that without save states?
Save states. It's the only I don't know how you do it.
Because like you would go through a whole level and then get killed by a boss without having time to understand what they're doing. Like what is the pattern? But then as soon as you know the pattern, it's like so easy.
That's
sometimes.
all it was. It's the first roguelike. That's what old games were.
Yeah, I guess so.
You would
I guess
just
that's
run
true.
through it again and again with your knowledge.
Trying to figure out how to do it. Yeah.
And then they have free lives hidden if you know where to look. And like
Yep.
the reward was exploring the game as you're going through it, but it's not worth it.
No, especially now. Like, it's one of the things that I'm like, I'm a purist in some senses, but with older games that like I literally don't have the time to play through an old game without using save states.
Plus, you want to see the whole game. It feels so like
that's the main thing. And if anyone's unfamiliar with what a save state is, there are emulators, which are basically you're playing the game, but it's on a drive or it's on like a console that is emulating the game. So you can actually save anytime throughout, which was never a thing in that era. So it is cool to get to see the whole game. One thing that was really interesting about this game is there's a loadout before every level, and they don't really tell you what you need, which I thought was interesting because there were a couple times where and if you take everything, it's like 8 different items or 12 or something crazy like that. So every time you're trying to like cycle to something, you have to go through like every single item. But it was cool that there was a loadout screen and like, I don't know, I guess I don't remember like what other games were out around that time, but I was like, this feels like a pretty comprehensive game.
Yeah, I think it was
for its time.
pretty well reviewed.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun game. If you're into beat 'em ups, but I haven't played anything else. I've been trying to play Quantum Break for like a month. Every time I sit down to play it, like something else goes on, and that game feels like you need to be in it.
You do.
But I have a list of games right now that like they're all like heavy story games, like. But I'm dying to play them. I'm dying to play them, and I haven't had the time.
Got to put the time away.
I don't have it, dude. I don't have it.
I'm sorry.
I really don't have it.
No.
I don't have it.
Well, you can't have it, Brett.
Not right now, dude.
No.
It's not in the cards.
Not yet.
Not in the cards. With
You
all
can
these
find it.
with all these negative comments we're getting and
I
all
know.
these bad Knuckles shows,
Taking
and
up our whole lives.
Zack Snyder using everyone's budget. Can't have time to play video games.
No, we got to watch all the bad stuff first.
Yeah.
Man, imagine if you had to watch everything bad or play everything bad before playing anything good. Like you're that
never
much,
get there.
you're that determined to finish like your backlog, and you're like, I got to play everything bad.
Things that are bad would start to seem good, though. You'd get to something that's normally like a 2, and you'd be like, this is the best game I've ever played.
Right, because everything else before it was so
Yeah,
bad.
so trash. All right, we got to get out of here.
We do.
This has been episode number 280.
It's true.
What's wrong?
Nothing.
Oh, all right.
Just agree. I agree.
I agree. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. As always, you can find us on all your favorite socials at The Keep Up Podcast. And if you want to get yourself some extra bonuses, you can find us at patreon.com/The Keep Up. If you are watching on YouTube and you enjoy the show, please subscribe. That would be excellent. If you are listening and you don't, please follow, subscribe, whatever the appropriate word is. Tim, tell everybody where they can find you and your stuff.
You guys can find me at Collection Revolution on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitch, on wherever you can find friends. I will be there. OnlyFans.
Wow. Only friends.
Only friends, right. Brett,
What?
where can everybody find you and your weird feet?
Why is it always that? I don't have that.
You guys got to follow him to find out.
At This Drink I Like It on Instagram. That is my personal page. You can hang out there, but there's also a link tree to all my other work. I do have music coming out, new music coming out next month in June. I think we're going to do a music video premiere on the Keep Up stream.
Oh.
Did I talk to you about that?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm just throwing it out there. You guys let me know what you think. Yeah. Maybe you get to see the video
The
first.
stream up.
That's it. Tim's going to do what's called End Babble, where he talks nonsense for about a minute and a half. Again, you guys are the coolest. We love you. Thanks for hanging out. Tim, your theme is a tripod on Mars.
Okay.
With no camera. Love you. Bye.
Floating far, floating high, floating way beyond the sky. Our tripod, our only friend, floats away until the end. Lost him in space long ago, 'cause he was fighting with his G.I. Joes. Our tripod lost on Mars, Mom, because it has no camera. And so I'll leave you with this. Sometimes you just need a song to feel better. If you're mad, if things are negative, go rock out. Dress up as Knuckles. Tell us the history of your life. Hang out with the little puppet guy. Have your best friend attack you with swords and guitars and try to chop off your head on a motorcycle while you're on a bicycle. And then just enjoy life. Music. It's in the game.